starting off on Get Out of Hell. It's a standalone expansion for Saints Row. Basically, in this you are play as Johnny Gadden Kinsey as you go on an Orphean journey to save the boss's soul. Sorry, I just need to invert my stuff. Alrighty. So, one of the things that people really wanted was to have another city to go and use superpowers on. So we did that in Helm. One of the big powers that we added is flight, which, because we were making a whole new city, we were able to go and really add a lot more verticality and things for you to go and navigate around to make it feel much more satisfying. We experimented with flight before on Saints Row 4, and it didn't go so dingo. We found out that because the city was designed for flying in mind, jumping was much more satisfying, whereas in this case we could go and do flying right and really build stuff that lends itself to our superpowers. So just like Saints Row 4, we have hundreds of clusters and upgrades to go and find collectibles. I believe we have around 1,000, so it's a decent amount of stuff. We also have a whole suite of new and bizarre weapons to go and kill people with, like for instance, a plague of locusts, where you can go and rain a bunch of locusts to go and smite people with Exodus 10, or a plague of frogs, where you can go and fire explosive amphibian to go and rain death onto our enemy. We also have a set of 7 kind of legendary weapons that are modeled after each of the 7 deadly sins, and one of them is kind of standing out above the rest for us is the sloth chair, whereupon I am sitting around in an armchair with miniguns that does all the killing for me, and if I want to go and recline back, I can fire missiles as well. So lots of different toys to facilitate murder. As always, Johnny Gat also has his knives. Now, because it's an open world game, we don't really, it's really an open world sandbox, so we're not trying to do the traditional Saints Row mission structure. So the bulk of our storytelling is told through the open world. Now, as we bring up the meter, you can go and see you kind of have like the piss off Satan level, and then the more that fills up, the more you progress in your story. So as you do whatever you want in the open world, completing any number of objectives and goals, you then go and advance that story, which then gets more cutscenes and more story content as the world kind of responds to Johnny Gat's assault on Hell. The other thing that we have is there's 5 islands that make up Hell, and each one is kind of about like, the whole city is about 50% the size of Steelport, and each one is oversaw by a different lieutenant of Hell. So like in this instance, it might be like Blackbeard or Shakespeare, Vlad the Impaler, who's trying to go and help them take over Hell. And as you go in 100% the island they're in charge of, you unlock more story related to how they respond to their ascension into power. So we're gonna go and show you Hellblazing. This is a mode that really lends itself to flight. Dane Vogel is the villain of Saints Row 2, kind of acts as your guide as you progress through the game, and so he'll gives you more objectives and goals and how to go and thwart Satan. Now, he wants something that's a little more combat oriented. So now I'm going to go and travel to the Marshalling Grounds. The Marshalling Grounds is one of the 5 strongholds that exist in Hell. Each Marshalling Ground is protected by a powerful Archduke, and in taking over the Marshalling Ground, you can go and then use that to transport across the city faster. So now I can go and summon an army of imps to go and maim my foes. And when I'm tired of them, I can explode them to go and destroy them. Summon some imps to protect me. And as I go and control these, convert these control stones, once I flip the switch on all of them, and each one has varying degrees of difficulty, this is the easier one, I will then summon the Archduke to come and try to kill me. I can also have an aura that makes everybody bow before me. So there's a lot of guys, make them worship me, and then make them pay. So now that we own this, that becomes one of our options. So you can see we can have lots of different diversions and activities for you to try to go and complete to fulfill different goals. It's a decent amount of shenanigans. Let's see. We also brought back some activities that were kind of fan favorites. So ever since Rogue Game has had insurance fraud, so we definitely want to go and put that into Hell. But the question, of course, is, well, you can't really do it for money. If you're in Hell, it doesn't really matter as much. So what did we do? In this case, we took the tact of it being a torment fraud, where now you play as one of the tormented husks of Hell, and in doing so, you try to earn them years off of their sentence of damnation. Narrated, of course, by Jane Austen. And that is our 10 minutes are up of the demo, but alas, that's all I can show you right now. It comes out January 27th. It's $20 and available on 360, PS3, Xbox One, PS4, and the PC. So it'll be available for everything on both retail as well as digital download. And also on the 27th, we also are releasing the Saints Row Re-Elected, which is a best of compilation. It has all the DLC of the year-end pack with all of that information as well. So you can buy it as a bundle. You can buy them separately. The world is your oyster on January 27th.